All right, guys. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Film Man podcast, where we dive deeper into the world of aesthetics. I am here with Nicole.
Hi, guys.
Hello. And we are so blessed to have a guest from Scranton, Pennsylvania, Amanda Grippo.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Out of your busy schedule. Thank you so much.
Oh, please. Yeah. No, not at all. Go busy or go home, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's what we say. We thrive in chaos.
We do. I agree with that statement 100%. If it's not chaotic, I'm like sitting here like, what do I do? Has to be chaotic. And this is how we thrive, right?
That's how we function.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
God,
telling
yes.
you.
And if it's not high energy, and I would just be sitting on my ass on my couch. I need like things to do at all times.
Stimulation, constant. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
So
how
true.
we make it as like, you know, the injectors that we are in this
I agree.
business. It just has to be that personality, I think.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about your journey, like, and how you got to where you are today. You're so successful. For those of you guys that don't know Amanda, she has over 50,000 followers on Instagram. She is such a big personality. She's so talented, and she's grown organically over the years. And I've been following her for a year now, and I'm just obsessed. Like I said, I basically stalk her life. So anyway, take it over, Amanda.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. It's so funny. I was getting my nails done this morning. Like I said, I was getting prepared for the black and white ball for Allergan.
Yes.
So they were talking with me about how I got started. And, you know, it's funny because I got into this and only because I talk with other newer injectors throughout the years, et cetera. And they've all said like, oh, I'm just looking to get out of the hospital. Oh, I'm just looking to, you know, make a change. And like for me, it wasn't the case at all. I loved what I was doing. I'm a nurse practitioner. I was doing gastroenterology, internal med, going to the hospital every day, doing rounds, coming, seeing patients, et cetera. But I also just happened to have this just profound love for beauty and aesthetics. And, you know, I remember when I was like a little girl, my mom would put my hair in rags every day to have that curly ringlet hair just every day for school. And I would be like, oh my God, Mom, it hurts. She's like, oh, you have to suffer to be beautiful. I was like, okay, Mom, you know, so it was just ever since I was little, I just always loved like picking my outfits out for school and everything like that. So when I was, you know, seeing patients, et cetera, I remember, and it's funny because I always did love, you know, doing movie voiceovers and just like fun shit like that with my sister. So she was filming me one day on Snapchat. This was like in 2014. And I looked at myself and I'm like, oh my God, I have these like, I look like ridiculous. I have these puppet lines and like wrinkles. I'm like, what is going on? So I thought I have to do something about this. And I didn't even know Botox existed back then. I literally had no idea anything in the aesthetic world. I just didn't know. So did you ever see the movie The Shahs of Sunset?
Oh my God, yeah.
Or not the movie, the show.
The show, yes.
So Gigi they were 30 at the time. Gigi was talking to Lily Galici. She was on the show then too. And she was like, girl, what do you do to like look so good? You got your 30th coming up. And she goes, oh, just, you know, Botox all the time. And I was like, Botox, what's that? Like, what is Botox? So then one thing led to another. I'm like, I need to do something. I need to like get Botox. And then I'm like, you know what? At the time, I'm literally like, I don't trust anybody to do me. Who am I going to trust? What is my face? And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do Botox. So then I ended up going to my collaborative physician who is a gastroenterologist and owns this whole practice, and went to him and I said, doctor, what do you think about like Botox? And he's like, yeah, you know, that sounds pretty good. Get some information and bring it to me. And then this was back in, like I said, around 2016, got some information, contacted Allergan, got trained, one training. That's it. Just like one time training, and then started up. And then one thing led to another. I didn't have social media at the time. I didn't even have my own Instagram because, like I said, my husband's Italian, and he's very much like old school, like very, very private. So I didn't have any social media myself. He just, you know, whatever. It was fine. I didn't mind. But I didn't have any way to promoting. I just patient after patient, referral after referral. I just began building a schedule. And then I was just going to do it one day a week. And then it started with 5 days a week. So I couldn't accommodate everyone. I was pretty much the only one in the area that was doing it, aside from the plastics, you know, and then just started growing. And then that was in 2016. And then in 2018 is when I got the Instagram. And it's funny because I didn't even know like any injectors. It was like in my own little cocoon of injecting. But then just growing, and you know, that's kind of how I got started. And then of course we could just keep going up through the years. And then it really took a deep upward dive during COVID. And then after that, then I really blew up, which was fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How has aesthetics changed like over the years, like from when you started to now? Like, what have you noticed?
Absolutely. So it's funny. I always like to say it was the 90s of aesthetics, you know?
Yes.
Even though I started in 2016, it was still like, you know, that old school vibe where I got trained. So it's funny. My first training was with just a company. I think it was called Aesthetic Advancements. I just did a small training private here with my collab. He wasn't doing any of it. Honestly, he's great. He's kind of like the father that supports the business for me.
Oh yeah,
you know
which
what
is
I mean?
amazing.
Yeah. So we have a partnership in this where I'm the co-founder with him, but he lets me just very much have autonomy in this whole entire thing. And live my dream, which is very, very unique situation, I would say, which is so great because I see how if other providers, if you're working with someone else, they kind of have a hold on you for things. And I don't ever have to really ask permission. I just do, and he trusts me, which is so amazing. So back in the day when I got the training, the first thing I said, oh, just teach me how to do Botox. That's it. She goes, well, Amanda, you know, I think we should learn some fillers too. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do fillers. I just want to do Botox. Oh, let me just teach you. I'm like, okay. So she taught me nasolabial folds. You know, but
the one and only area,
the one and only. And then I did say,
you fill it, you know?
that's it, right? So, like I said, 90s of aesthetics. But then I did learn lips, and I thought to myself, you know what? I want to be like the best lip injector.
Queen.
Yeah. And I, you know, happened to be pretty good, you know, whatever at it, I think. So I started doing that. Started doing lips, nasolabial folds, and Botox. Never did I even know how to do a consultation. Just learned on my own, and then once COVID hit in 2020, and I still had great momentum because then I had the Instagram, but at the time I wasn't divulging into searching for other providers, just like looking at different things and honestly teaching myself back then. I know, Jon, you and I spoke about it. Like the way I did trainings back then, like a lot of it's self-taught. We self-taught ourselves, YouTube videos, constant, just like watching and learning and watching and learning. Allergan put out a bunch of things. I know the one time it was called The Art of Assessment. I did one webinar with Raj Aquila. Amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's how I learned how to start off my consultation. I know I'm kind of, you know, going all over the place, but like realistically, when you're doing your consultation, I mean, I know I've made mistakes in the past where like, you know, you say the wrong thing, you turn a patient off. You have to be so delicate with your patients, especially if you look a certain way and then they, you know, you just have to be, oh my gosh, I could go on and on about consultations and just doing it the right way. And I think right now we have it pretty down pat, and I could get into that later too. But, then once COVID came and I was shut down for 2 months, and I was so mortified and upset about it. I was like, I can't believe this. I can't believe you're shutting me down. But, you know, obviously it was the right thing to do. During that entire time is when I really realized, wow, people are like doing trainings. I need to like get a training and do more and like, you know, so I did have, then I learned tear trough filler with the beauty nurse, Melissa Berg. Love her.
Yeah.
She's amazing. Yes.
She's wonderful.
So she came, and like I was saying back in the day where these providers who didn't have kids yet were able to travel. So it was like great. So I was able to like get all this really great training from these amazing injectors back then, because I think now they don't really do that much of travel because she lives all the way in the West.
Right,
you know, Montana. But then I learned during COVID, I got this very amazing long training with Mauricio De Maio.
Wow.
Fantastic. But it was webinars. And I just remember watching it on repeat. Repeat was free through Allergan. On repeat. And that's how I learned to inject with cannula, jawline, MD codes, like that just changed my world entirely. So once I opened back up, it was May 18th, closed down March 16th. May 18th, I opened up. Everyone couldn't wait to get in. And I just started doing 8-point lifts, doing jawline and cheek and everything.
I always say you learn by doing.
That's it. And watching and constantly watching and watching him. And then I was able to like, wow, I tried cannula before and my hands were not working with cannula. And then all of a sudden, after watching him on repeat, like 50 times. That's all I did. I could hear his voice like clean, you know?
100%.
And then I just started I'm like, wow, this is a breeze. I love cannula. I still love needle though. Needle technique's my favorite, but a blend, you know?
A blend.
Yes.
But then, so I got all of those trainings. Then I set up a training with Bunny.
Oh yeah, bun.
Yes. And that's when I just started like learning and just, realizing that I needed to just keep up my skills. I didn't learn temples until like way later. I think I had to get like 2 or 3 trainings on that because
But I think that's a good point.
Yes.
Because some people are like, especially with this temple indication coming out, there's going to be so many practices that literally just started injecting a year ago and they want to learn temple. Honey.
No.
You gotta slow and steady.
down.
That's such
Definitely.
a high risk area, and you have to know your underlying anatomy. I think that's so great. Even like our train the trainer coming up, there's that cadaver course that we're going to be doing, which I'm so excited about.
Yes.
But I think you really should be doing a cadaver before you even do a temple. Like
Absolutely.
it's just. I mean, because we're also doing needle periosteum, but then also doing some mid to deep dermis injections, like with cannula as well.
Right.
Sure. I mean, it took me 3 full trainings with really amazing injectors to fully be comfortable with temple.
Yeah.
And I think that I heard someone say one time, the more you're in this business, the more nervous, I don't want to say nervous you get, but the more you're more cautious. And I'm like,
Yes.
And they're so right. I was
so true.
It was a little Wild West
Even
in the
now,
beginning.
oh, of course. But like
isn't.
even now though, my butthole clenches just a little bit every time I'm doing a temple, right?
Yes.
Like any high risk area.
Yeah, peer
And I
form
think-
for me. I get a little clenchy, but
Yep, a little clenchy, but it's fine.
Well,
And for our listeners, it's because they are high risk areas.
Totally.
There's a lot of vessels and things that we have to be careful in those areas. So that's why we say these things.
Yes. Not to scare you. It's just we're
No.
just talking injector talk right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But safety first, of course. For
Of
the
course.
patient.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep. Absolutely.
100%. Hey guys, just popping in to remind you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Injector Jon and Aesthetic Nurse Nicole. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. So going into like trainings and things like that, you talk about so much how you relied a lot on like Instagram, YouTube videos, Patreon, a lot of things like that. And I think a lot of injectors, obviously, a lot of providers, even RNs want to get into aesthetics so quickly and they're upset with the cost of trainings. I think that's a big topic now. Like people they're like, I can't afford that. You're saying that if I need to take this seriously, I need to spend 20 grand a year on fit. I just don't have that money. How are you supposed to do that when like my office won't pay for me? Like it's coming out of my paycheck. I can't afford it. What do you say to them?
Well, and everyone's journey is different. I think for me, I went into this not even, like I said, I didn't even know what Botox was, didn't even know what aesthetics was. Also, didn't even know how much money you could make. No clue. I didn't even know making money was an option. I just thought it was something different to do besides gastroenterology. I just thought it's going to be another version of patient care that I'm doing, and that's it. Just happen to incorporate some beauty into this business, and I'll make my same salary and go on living, right? No clue. And I think that was I still, even though, of course, doing well, I still try to never think about it. The thing that comes first is the patient. The patient comes first, and I don't care what you're going to spend. I don't care if you spend nothing. I'm just happy you are here and you chose me over someone else. Bottom line. Like I would actually want you to come in, and I wish I could give you your entire visit for free because I genuinely am so blessed that you come to me and not the guy next door. I just have this passion for patients. You know what I mean? Like that you actually think I could give you that result, that artistic beauty, right? Like that's literally how I feel. So I think that's a great quality that injectors need to have if you want to succeed, because the patient can sense your passion. And patients have said that to me all the time, like, Amanda, I could sense how passionate you are, whether it's Instagram or in the office when I'm doing my consult, my 30, 40-minute long talking session.
We love.
So in the beginning when I started, I just didn't know how far I wanted to take it, didn't know what else was out there, didn't know the name laser, didn't know the name Morpheus, didn't know anything else other than just I learned Botox and a little bit of Juvederm. Didn't even know there was other brands, right? Like I said, just so incredibly novice. So what I started doing in the beginning was just a patient came in and said, oh, Amanda, you need to treat my neck. My last injector did my neck and the platysmal bands, right? And I was like, okay. She goes, you're going to do it next time. I don't care if I can't swallow. No big deal. I'm like, okay. No problem. So I at the time, Megan, my nurse, Maggie, I was like, because she was my starting girl, right? And then I just grew with 5 girls later on. But anyway, so I was like, Meg, I have to learn how to do necks by next week. But that happened many times. DAOs, bunny
Nefertiti.
lines, lip flips, any little area of injection was me just Googling, YouTube, how do I do this? Right. So then you start finding different things, different techniques with crow's feet, just all different techniques, all different injections from YouTube. Not to say that you should only go by YouTube and don't pay for a very advanced training. No, I'm not saying that at all, but you don't have to get 3 or 4 or 5, 6 grand trainings a year. No, not at all. You can do a little hustle behind the scenes and you can help yourself.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And but for me, it wasn't because I was being like cheap. No, I didn't. Like I said, truly and genuinely just didn't even know trainings existed except for the one that I went to and didn't even know about any other injectors.
How I was too. And during that COVID time, I literally was home. I mean, my poor husband, like literally hearing like all this talk about, piriform, cheek, lift, all of this. And he's just like, all right, are we going to watch our show or are you going to continue? Can you put down your phone? And I'm like, oh my God, I just loved it so much. Like it just excited me so much. And it just, the hustle just doesn't stop.
Yeah. And I think to Amanda's point too, like your patient might want something and you don't have the time to schedule to travel across the world to go to this conference to learn how to do it,
Correct. And once you start doing things, once you are, of course, in the business for not even 9 years like myself, but like not if you're in the business for 6 months to a year and you have patients and you're doing, then, it's okay if you watch. I mean, a lot of my trainings were webinars and videos, you know what I mean? Look up how to inject the DAO. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? So like a Mentalis, 2 sticks. So that was what I would continuously be doing and then learning and then doing more quantity, of patients. And then of course you learn by doing, like I said, and just repetitive. And you can't just do it as a side hustle. It really is different. You don't want somebody injecting your face if it's just a side hustle.
Right.
But then of course I do recommend, and I didn't even I recommend doing a training like once a year. I like to, even though I've been in the business a long time and I feel like I'm already pretty capable with all of but I'm always keeping up with new things. You always want to know what's new for your patients. So when they come to you, you're not like, oh, I don't know, I never heard of that. You know what I mean? So I think that's important. So they know I'm always educating myself. And of course, but I didn't start going to conferences until like 2022. Yeah, probably. I wasn't and then of course, Allergan training, then I started doing that, train the trainer. But I just recommend if you want to be in this business and you see, of course, now, like I said, after COVID, more and more, just like multiplying of injectors, they're all over the place. But they're, of course, a lot of them are probably wanting to get into it because they see the glory of the other very advanced providers that are doing well in life. But it's not without effort. Oh my goodness. Jess, we don't stop working 24/7, but I love it. You love the thrill. I'm not saying, hey, listen, if you want to be a good injector, you have to work 24/7. And that includes content creation, running your business, seeing your patients, documenting, charting, catching up with your patients, texting them 2 weeks later. But I mean, it involves a lot. If you want to do what we do, it's a lot of work. You can delegate a lot of things, of course, to your assistants. But you have to have that passion or else it's just going to be like work. If you don't love beauty and aesthetics, how are you going to
But also, I think, like you said before, you love your patients. You just love them, and you care about them so deeply, and that's why you're doing it. If you could give treatments for free, you could, right?
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's where it stems from. And I think, and any good plastic surgeon, any good cosmetic dentist, right? I see them on Instagram. I mean, some of them, they work nonstop. The people that have their own practices, it's nonstop. I literally was looking into cosmetic dentistry, looking at veneers the other day, okay, and literally sending pictures on through DM. And I was like, oh, this person's probably not going to get back to me till it's 10 at night. Meanwhile, sitting there, scrolling, looking at veneers, blah, blah, blah. Literally 20 minutes later, a full-fledged response came back. Send pictures, send this angle. I sent my pictures, literally sent me a quote that night.
Wow.
Okay. So people, I mean, if you really love what you're doing, you're going to love the hustle, and it's just not work for you. It's just a part of your life.
Absolutely. And it's to your point, same thing. I do believe one of the reasons why my practice became successful is because I don't shut down on the weekends. If I get a message on a Saturday, hey, can I schedule an appointment? There is no way they're waiting till Monday for a response. Absolutely not. I'm continuously on my phone touching base. And
are people going Amanda, why are you answering the phone? Do they always?
You know what? No, they expect it from me now.
It.
Yeah, I am like a mother to these patients. patients, and that's okay. That's okay. I
love that.
I mean, it's fine. We always say grandfather Grippo is what the girls call me. And, because whatever you want, you get, but within reason, you're not getting, big pillows on your face, but like you're just definitely,
I'm dying.
but they'll look nice. If you want them full, we could do full. We'll balance your chin, etc. But they'll be well defined. I just had this conversation this morning with a patient at the nail salon. Like you can have full lips, it's okay, but just I will do them my way, but full.
Right.
But no, absolutely, totally agree. Like you have to hustle. Like I do see other practices or other providers. Like I remember there was this one time there was an injector. Things just resonate and that you just see things and you'll always remember it. There was one particular injector that I saw, and she's like well known, but I saw her Instagram, and this is fine to do. Hey, I'm not saying, but it was just like, I will answer all messages next week.
When I return from vacation.
When I can turn, I don't even think it was a vacation. Like I think it was just like, I'm busy this weekend. I'll answer everybody Monday, Tuesday or whatever, but that's fine. But like, oh my goodness, I just know that patient, if they like want to get in right away, they're going to go somewhere else.
I'm telling you, Amanda, I'm telling you, Amanda, that's usually coming from a non-practice owner. I'm sorry, but as a practice owner, all three of us actually own our own practices. And I just, like you just said, for me, if someone is like DMing or if they're texting their work phone wanting an appointment on Saturday and I'm just choosing to ignore that till Tuesday when we reopen, my fear is they're going to book and go somewhere else.
100%.
And I don't want that. We're so blessed that they're even texting us, reaching out as a new patient to come to us. Like you want to grab them, you take them.
100%. And that's how I feel, even with the experience that we all have, even how we have done well in our lives and we're doing great and we have a huge practice. It's like, I still feel like, oh my gosh, you chose me. Thank you so much for choosing me. Like you can go anywhere. It's funny.
Yeah.
So funny. I was training my sister this weekend. I'm just going to say.
Wait, how was that, by the way?
Oh, it was great. She did so well. Yes. Very steady hand. Did amazing. She'll do well. She sutures and stuff as a PA already.
She's got it. Yeah.
Yeah. She'll be fine. It was our first visit. She has an assistant that reminds me as my assistant, Megan, like the same way, like funny and cool, whatever. But I saw, some of the patients we were seeing were former patients of mine. And like I said, it was my sister. No big deal. It's my sister. And this is a good 30-minute drive too, from her practice to mine.
Sure.
And, so.
Now, where is she? Because you're where? In Scranton?
Well, I'm in Scranton. She's down in like Wilkes-Barre.
Okay.
With traffic, 30 minutes. Anyway, people really do go other places, probably like whatever it's cost, whatever the issue may be. Yep. And I have to just try to get over that because I can't stand turnover. It drives me wild thinking I did something wrong. Yeah. Always. I can't get over it. I can't. And I'll never will. Yeah. But it's fine.
I'm a little bit of the opposite. I set boundaries because my DMs were like off the hook. And I actually felt bad not answering people or like leaving some on red and answering some. So we have obviously have an emergency line. So God forbid anyone ever needs anything, they can always, it goes straight to my cell phone. But I kind of set that boundary with the DM because I couldn't keep up with it myself. So they know to either text or call, Yeah.
Absolutely.
But as long as you have something set up where they're not just left
on red
or like
someone else can answer it for you.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think now too, well, I have had to delegate through the years. I have all of these assistants. So the way my practice is Dr. Grad, he is my collaborative physician. We are co-founders, partners, right? I have autonomy. Thank goodness. Then I have 5 medical assistants, but I do have now a medical director, plastic surgeon that is in the office. Thank goodness for safety to protect me and all of what I'm doing. But then also he can see more advanced cases. Like I don't do PDO barbed thread lifts. Yes, he does those. Nose filler, things like that a plastic surgeon, you would want them to do, But for the longest time, so then it was just myself and Megan. I was doing my own appointments. all of my own social media. When I say
that's-
all
that's
of
a
it,
lot.
every
That's
post,
a
it's
lot.
plus trying to keep a high schedule, like a high, a schedule of just me injecting, of course.
Right.
So then just within the last, I guess, 2-3 years, Jay, right? Because you're here 3, it'll be 3 years, right? And I've been injecting for 9. So you do the math of like the last 6 years doing all my own social media. So Jess she does, I don't want to say she does all my social media, but Monday through Friday, she posts on story. She's the one that posts. Of course, I say like, we'll collab together and say, Jess, let's film something about Inspector Gadget, all my gadgets. Jade, let's film something about like a collaboration with community over competition with Nina. Like we're coming up with these things. We have a list of video ideas and then she films them, puts them together, and they look great. So I have somebody that I could delegate to, but then what else do we delegate? Oh, like I used to do all my own appointments. So like I have the girls doing that. So it's just delegating anymore.
Right.
You just have to, or else you'll go crazy. And then
Absolutely.
I get to focus on the craft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I think
providing
the
that.
hardest thing is like relinquishing that trust because you're so used to the control
I am.
of doing
Yep.
it yourself, and you're like, I know I'm going to do it right, but like it's just giving that like, okay,
That's-
go ahead, you can do it. And
Every
just-
time I delegate, I ask them like 10 minutes later, I'm like, did you do it? They're like, give me some time. I'm like, okay, well, I
Me
would have done
too.
it already.
and then I'm like, text me when it's done.
Yeah.
That's exactly me. That is exactly me. I'll be like, Meg, did you do this yet? Because I have a list for every girl. My list every day, handwritten or typed. And I have my list. Jess and I touch base at the end of the day to see what was done, what wasn't.
Yeah.
Megan, it's just throughout the day, like, hey, did you do this? Did you do this? Or they'll tell me. But yes, that is me, 100%. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm not
Exactly.
changing.
No,
Yeah.
no, and also it's nothing against them. It's
No,
just
no,
like you have a
exactly.
business to run, you have things to do, and
Jess, so John just said, because she can't hear me. Because
that's right. Yes, yeah.
Because he was saying, and it's nothing against them. It's just we have an agenda. We want to just touch base. We can't help it. But I 100% agree with you. It's the type A nurses in us or PAs. You know what I mean?
I remember when I first started, I was always like, why are you such a helicopter?
Oh, yeah. Did you hear that? Yeah, I am. I'm helicopter grandfather, but I can't
It's
help
okay.
it because
I'm such a
patients are kids.
helicopter.
I'm very
Yep.
helicopter. Yes.
Yes.
But you know what?
Absolutely.
It's we have our practice.
And
we're
then-
successful for a reason. What do
Yeah.
you
I
wanna
always
do?
come up
Yeah.
to my receptionist and I'm like, "Hi, did this go?" And she goes, "No, I've been on the phone. It's been not." I'm like, "No, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I want you to. I'm not like trying to,
No.
bite up your ass right now, but like, get it done."
Yeah.
I
Make sure
know.
you do it.
Well, and then also too, another thing that I've always did with Megan, she's the assistant that gets
Maggie.
there early with me, Maggie. She gets there at 6:30. I get there at 6:18 every morning, and she does my list. I give her a weekend list, and she knows she doesn't have to answer it on the weekend. It's just like a to-do list. So right now there's all these online orders, so I'm panic stricken. Like, we got to get them sent out. I'm like, so I'm gonna be like, Maggie,
Panic
there's 4 online
stricken.
orders, 4 online orders, 5 online
Yep.
orders. Whatever. All good stuff. All good stuff.
Exactly,
But they know.
exactly.
They know me by now. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever. They don't mind.
Right.
But you either want to be on this team. I kind of say like we're like a cult here, right, Jay? Like we really are, because you could either handle it or not.
Yeah.
But my assistants are treated so well. They're all beautiful looking. They all look great.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you
That's
either
so funny. Like everyone always says that, like, like I'm sure you're the same way, Nicole. I feel like you have your own cult. I have my own cult.
Yes,
Yes.
we do.
Every successful practice has their own cult. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's sink or swim. And you could either handle it or you can't. You can tell who's going to make it and who's not.
Oh,
in your
yes.
practice. You know what I mean? Like, because it is a lot of work, but they get well rewarded for good, though.
Right.
For good.
But I just love, and they like looking good. I think if you want to be an aesthetic, like they don't mind working hard, just like me. Like they are doing it they love it. I know
Right.
Jess wouldn't be here 12 hours a day if she didn't love her job
Right.
too.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Exactly.
I can't wait. We better make sure we go to dinner in San Diego.
yes.
Can we? Definitely.
Yes.
Okay.
110%.
Let me know how many, but I'll add a few more to the steak reservation.
I
if you
love
want.
that.
Do you guys
Yes.
eat steak or no?
Of course.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yes. All the meat, the merrier.
Oh,
Yes.
carnivore right here.
Yes. 100%. Yeah. Love it.
my gosh.
Me too.
Oh my God.
Has to be
okay.
prime though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love a good prime and,
And it needs to be-
tomahawks. That's one of my favorites. I love a tomahawk, please.
Medium rare.
Yeah, medium Pittsburgh, medium rare.
Oh, and what is that? What does that mean?
Charred on the outside, medium rare on the
charred.
inside.
I love a good char.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Sorry.
No, all good.
Okay, so let's talk
Yes.
about skin. So
Okay.
and for those of you that don't follow Amanda, she is heavily just loves skin so much and incorporates so much
Yep.
into her consultations. And I really think being a good provider in aesthetics, you have to incorporate good skincare with your injectables. We talked about protecting what you inject earlier this week,
Love that.
and you can't just heavily rely on just your injectables to give you gorgeous skin. So I'm going to let Amanda kind of expand on this. I know
Yep.
Nicole also preaches this in her practice. She has a great team of there and a great esthetician, and they heavily use ZO actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
As well.
too. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
So go ahead, Amanda.
Yeah. So obviously, for doing this in the business a long time, you kind of know what works and what doesn't work. You've had issues in the past, et cetera, certain case studies that you say like, oh, I should have did this differently. What did I do that made this patient not as thrilled about her results, et cetera. So I mostly started getting heavy into skincare when I brought on Morpheus. Back in 2019, I had just one skincare line at the time. I had Skin Medica. But then just throughout the years, once I brought in Zeo Skin Health in, I think it was like 2020 or 2021, I forget. Then that just blew up because they just do that company does such an amazing job at really teaching you skin. Just because they have everything and they practice, it's not just anti-aging, but like skin health issues, skin health diseases. So then you really understand and I do trainings with Zio once a month. We're always doing trainings with them, whether it's just a quick touch base with the SD trainer on their team. I
love her. Love her. She's so sweet.
So there
her
might
name?
be all different ones. We have Trish.
Okay.
Then we also
Rochelle.
have Rochelle also. We have both.
I love Rochelle.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Trish and Rochelle. Yeah. So we go
She's
back
blonde.
and forth with both girls.
She's blonde. Yes, she's blonde.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very trendy.
So-
Her outfits are always on point.
Yeah,
Yes, she's
definitely,
amazing.
definitely. So when I started really heavily involving myself in Zeo Skin Health, then it just, I started adding on different brands, etc. But I take the all-star products from each brand and just knowing and understanding the ingredients and how they work together, and then how to make your skin the best it can be. So when, of course, you have case studies and patients that you're seeing throughout the years, and you're like, wow, you just look absolutely fantastic. I had this one light bulb moment on a patient from 2021. She came in just looking horrible. She just lost her husband. She's in her late 60s. I mean, skin, sun damage, never took care of herself, 5 kids, had like a very good life with her husband, et cetera. And she had the
I don't think people
means now.
understand how much stress plays a
Yes,
role.
yeah.
Like on the skin. Yeah.
100%. And I show her befores and afters all the time where this was, of course, tired and sad with not the best skin. Of course, lifestyle plays a role where they say the word, you just aged 10 years. It's a true thing. Definitely, whether it's a loss of the job, a loved one, whatever the case. So, and then I put her on everything. I said, we need heavy hit skincare. And I did Botox that day. And actually, I don't think I ever even did filler on her. I just did like a 3-series Morpheus with heavy skincare. And that was my light bulb moment where I knew that skin works if the patient does what they're supposed to do. We did, I'll just tell you her regimen. So we did full GSR, getting skin ready, of course, because number one, you have to shed the dead. You can't just prescribe a patient. I'll tell them, I won't just sell you a moisturizer. I mean, hey, it's a free country. You can buy one, but you're not going to get any results. If anything, you might get breakouts because you're not cleaning your skin the right way.
100%.
So it's always going to be about that cleanse, exfoliant, and then that glycolic salicylic acid toner for sure. Then I put her on TNS Advanced Serum. I put her on Firming Serum. Very, very strong retinol. I put her on first day, wrinkle and texture repair. Didn't care, just did it. And I saw her a month later and looking amazing because she did everything right. It's funny. I don't want to say the word she didn't bother me for those 2-3 weeks, but she didn't. She was the epitome of she ran that marathon without breaking a sweat.
Yeah.
I love it. And
So
she shed the dead.
I love that.
She shed the dead, and she just looked absolutely amazing, and she kept going and going. And then I saw her, it was April of 2021, and then it was September. Full dramatic skin change. I can even show you. I'll show you her before. I've posted her before many times, but just like perfect, beautiful, flawless filtered skin, brand new skin, like literally mine. But she was like deep static lines, sun damage, all things terrible, you know? And that's when I knew that skin really works, and you do your own clinical trials. And I always tell my patients, this is what I'm recommending. There's been a couple of patients in the past, especially new patients, that'll say things like, I have sticker shock. I just spent $1,500 on Botox and skincare. And I'm like, Yeah, but you're going to see results. And maybe you didn't used to do this at another practice, and that's fine. I understand. But this is what I do. And I am too busy to have unhappy patients.
Yep.
If I just do filler on you. So let me tell you, when I really knew, I had a patient once who came to me, she had same kind of thing, sun damage, deep fine lines, static lines, sagging, sun damage. What more could you say, right? Loves the sun and was actively tan when she came in. So didn't want skincare. I think I gave her like a free cleanser and a scrub, right? But forced me into doing, and I hate to say this because I should have said no, but it forced me into fillers and Botox only because she had a certain budget and she was going on a cruise with her girlfriends and wanted to look great. Well, and this is what I say going forward. The filler will be done right. Of course it was done right. But she wasn't impressed with the results. Well, of course you're not impressed because that skin looks the same. What do you expect it to look like? And, going forward, she forced me. She wanted fillers. She wanted to lift, did not want skincare. Well, what am I going to do? So I guess next time you just know, okay, what's going to give you that result that they're going to be wowed by? The skin change. That's the first thing they see. They're not going to say, wow, that cheekbone looks great, but it's filled with fine lines and sun damage. Who cares if the cheekbone looks good? But like I said, filler done right, but or I can do that filler on the first day. That's fine if you want to kind of get it all done. You're traveling, but you have to commit to skincare. So you have to commit to at least $600 worth of skincare. I mean, you do. Right. At least. So, I mean, that's just what it takes. Then I've also done basic skincare. And, sometimes they're just not impressed. And then they think it does nothing because you gave them basic. So I always know to add.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like the analogy with like Botox units. Like, right? Like if you're like, oh my God, like I just want like 2024. It's like too much. Well, if we undertreat, that's where it's not going to last as long. Right. You might have Spock brow. There's more issues. There's a reason why there's the FDA approved dose for 64 units. 100%. Not everybody needs 64 units.
No,
we know that.
Right. Yeah.
I want to make that clear. But like same thing with skincare. If you go too basic, then you're like, oh, I just spent maybe like 200 when I should have just went all in and just did it.
Right.
So as the saying goes, go big or do it right or don't do it at all.
Yes.
Literally.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I kind of anymore, like I said, like we should say, too busy to have unhappy patients. You're either going to do what I'm telling you to do the treatment plan or not. It's just, I guess, like in medicine, you have a blood pressure of 200 over 100, but if you don't want pills, I don't want to do pills. Well, then you can't be treated by me because if you have a stroke, I don't want to be responsible.
Right. So true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your love for skin, are you using a lot of SkinViVe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love SkinViVe. I was just saying before we go, Jay, I just want to pop myself a little SkinViVe. We'll see. But
real quick, just throw it in there.
Just a little quick, yeah. But we love SkinViVe. I do believe, I market it as, so it wasn't out when that patient came. Should have done maybe a little SkinViVe on her. Sure. She might have been a little happier if I did that injectable facial.
Right. Yep.
So I love it. How about you guys?
It's so true.
Oh yes. Yeah. Very popular.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. 100%. And I feel like patients that are using like the lasers, the RF microneedling, their skin's getting more dehydrated with those treatments. Are they amazing treatments? Yes. But the heat, that's in RF and stuff like that can dehydrate the skin, and then putting the SkinViVe back in there, it really does help as well as just optimize their results.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And then patients that are dry from retinol, I am doing SkinViVe on them. They love that too. They just love how their skin glows. It looks so good. And I do believe it helps with my rosacea patients as well.
Absolutely. The redness and
Yeah, even
absolutely.
my own face. Like can I just tell you? I don't know. I kind of post about it on Instagram. So weird. I developed this weird rosacea. So Nicole, you'll definitely understand this too because you carry ZO. Jonathan, do you carry ZO?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway,
so we'll forgive you.
No big deal. So I was meeting with Rochelle, and I do exfoliation accelerator twice a day, 2 pumps, so 4 pumps a day. And I don't know why. I think I was just using it mostly for acne because I do have a tendency to have breakouts in my past, right? But I'm on full GSR, but the oil control ones, right?
Okay. Yep.
And I was doing exfoliation accelerator, but I was like, oh, Rochelle. Now, it could have been the winter. Really, it could have been the winter, but I was like, I'm just so like flaky all the time, and it's so unsightly to my patients. And she's like, well, and I'm doing wrinkle texture. So I was doing wrinkle texture. So she goes, why don't you cut down your exfoliation accelerator to just 2 pumps daily? And I'm like, all right, fine. So I did. 3 weeks later, didn't even realize the change I did. 3 weeks later, I developed this terrible red, dry.
I remember you posting about it.
Terrible, like unsightly terrible. It was all rosacea, all like little pimples, red,
Interesting.
like telangiectasias. I'm like, what is going on? I didn't do a recent morph. I don't know what happened. And I'm taking Doxy, thinking it's something from the weather change, because at that time it was June and it was just starting to be hot.
Oh, yes.
So I'm like, it's the weather change. This is terrible. And like in aesthetics, I panic about my own face, like if it's not looking good.
Of course.
So my mom, of course, bestie's like, stop your products. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. Stop your products.
Go back to Dove soap.
Yes. Yes, best. Go back to Dove soap, bestie says. And I do Dove soap and my skin's perfect. I'm like, okay, best. Yeah, bestie knows best. Anyway, so then I didn't do Dove soap, needless to say. I'm like, it's not my product. I actually went to see a fellow dermatologist in the area, and he's like, it's rosacea. It definitely is. And he's like, do X, Y, and Z, whatever he said. But he goes, don't stop your products.
But what was it from, Amanda? Like, what caused the rosacea flare? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm going to tell you. I think, and I know, because I cut down my exfoliation accelerator. Nicole, can I tell you, I went back on it 2 and 2.
And
a week later,
gone.
it was gone. I am like so blessed that I didn't have to like take low dose Doxy for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because at least I am reliant on something that's a good ingredient. That's like relying on organic free range chicken rather than McDonald's to keep yourself feeling good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I went back to exfoliation accelerator. I did, and this is what I love. You'll like this too. I did Rosatrol serum accelerator.
I was just going to ask you, did you try the Rosatrol? Yeah.
I do, it's called my Rosacea Boot Camp, a blast of 10 days of the Rosatrol Serum Accelerator. I do believe it works better. And the Rosatrol regular kind of makes my skin funny. So I just did the 10 days of the Serum Accelerator. And I do that for a lot of my patients. It like kind of cures it. And then you just go on living with the rest of your products. And now with the color science that I just added, color science
I love color science.
Oh, you guys are the color science
we're
whores
the
over
same,
there.
Amanda.
We are. I love this. Will you guys sit by me at Allergan training?
Oh, of course.
Are you kidding? Yes, of course.
Because I don't have any friends going.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Well, you're our friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you
please.
do. Yes, you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So anyway, we'll talk skin all day.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
So color science now, I'm using Radical Night, 4 pumps of Radical Night, no wrinkle texture right now. I haven't gotten a flake because I know that the color science has these properties, these anti-inflammatory properties that really do help calm the skin. It's like this I forget what it's called, Vital E or something like that. They were telling us. What a game changer with the calming of my skin. It really, my skin just feels so soothed. You know what I mean? I do combine it with a little Hydrotint. Can't get rid of Hydrotint, but I'm doing the Flex, like a little sliver of Flex.
Yep. And then the Hydrotint.
So the Glow Flex, then I'm doing Flex Medium, then I'm doing 2 pumps of Hydrotint blended together, and then I'm just like good. So no flakes.
Yep. That's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, the color science is really kind of replacing any form of moisturizer, you know? Because if you're using moisturizer and then you're putting on your color science, it's almost like you're over moisturizing. And I had to learn that the hard way because I was using both and I was breaking out. And I was like, why am I breaking out? I know it's not the color science. This is full of amazing ingredients. And I just stepped back on the moisturizer and stuck to just the color science, and my skin is perfect.
Patients that think they need those blanket moisturizers, I'm trying to get my patients away from that. Now, if they need a blanket cream to get them through their beginning stages of retinol, just for that like anticipated reaction, but otherwise, I try to take them off of that and just do all serums because I tell them those serums are like loading up on protein and vegetables versus carbs.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want to load up on carbs.
Guys, I'm sorry, but I cannot live without my trio. I love my trio.
Do you? I like it here. I like it too, though. For the winter, sometimes I do like a trio.
And that's like a pretty thick moisturizer, John, the trio?
It's like a lightweight, heavy duty moisturizer.
Okay,
it's good for all skin types. But I will say I do get oily right up in here and then like right in here. So like I have to be careful. I do it mostly here and I do a little like through here, and then I'm good.
Very light coverage.
Oh yeah. No, I like it here and there. I think winter, I'm going to see what my skin looks like for the winter now, but right now for after I treated the rosacea, knowing that exfoliation accelerator is probably my next level game changer ingredient. Like I can't live without it because of how it helps my skin health issues. but we'll see for the winter now if I flake. Now that I added color science this summer, we just
it's a
added
little
it.
bit of reverse technology to me, because usually with like a rosacea flare to me, it's usually like you take away and not like add in my eyes. But then you just said you had to go back on actually going like accelerating all of that.
That was the problem. I had to add an ingredient. So Bestie did not know best in that point.
Put that Dove soap back in its little box.
Yes.
Where it belongs.
Yes.
So to close a little bit, I know we've been talking for almost an hour. I can't.
Yeah,
get
look at
over
us
it.
go.
Oh my God, I love it.
I love it.
Me too. We could talk all afternoon.
all day. Yeah.
But I think you become so successful on social media, and I think for a lot of people, I mean, we're all three of us, I think, are extroverts, so I think that really helps us. Like social media is not as difficult as some people that are maybe more introverted. What what advice would you give to people that really want to become successful on there, on social media?
It's funny. I didn't go into, cause like I said, I wasn't even, my husband just personally didn't want me to have my own personal Instagram. So he was always like, this is for work, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's for work. Like, no problem. And I just went on there just to learn at the time. I didn't go on there to be famous. And then I just started filming videos. Oh my gosh, you had to see my beginning videos. So weird. I'm so weird, right, Jay? Oh my gosh. But you just learn, same thing. Just practice makes perfect. And
What's the new generation say? Was that an ick? It's like an ick.
Oh, what is it? An ick, they call it, the new generation? Yeah. I don't know. Oh gosh. But
I think cringe is out. It's ick now. I have no idea.
Ick, they say it's ick, not cringe. They say
it used to be cringe. It's ick now. That's the
it's ick now.
Like when they talk about like guys and stuff, it's like, oh, he gave me the ick, like he's gone.
They gave me the ick. It's gone. Yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, I think that just I do believe social media is very important if you're looking to build a practice. You have to be a lot. I will say a lot of patients have said to me, oh, it was either you or so-and-so, but I chose you because you're so fun. Your results were similar, but I chose you because you look so fun and your experience with your patients looks so exciting. So I'm like, oh, great. At least we know it's doing something well, being on Instagram. I think too, a lot of it is like, do you really, I mean, some people really are introverted. And they really just don't want to be involved on Instagram. And hey, that's fine. Do your thing of getting patients. But for me, social media, free marketing pretty much, unless you paid for paid ads. But it really does help. And it's fun at the same time. So we look forward to filming videos.
Right.
It's just, you have the passion
but you
for
also
it.
have to get over like the worry about what other people are going to think too.
Not at all. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, people probably don't like some of the stuff I do on Instagram. I do watch what I say. Jess is here to make sure I don't say anything weird today.
Oh my gosh.
She's behind the screen like,
there's things I say. She'll be like, all right, you're canceled today. I think though, I do think if someone is introverted, like my sister might be a touch more introverted than me for sure. I actually a lot more introverted. I think you can just simply post your befores and afters a lot. And then you don't have to have a huge presence. You can do some voiceovers. Jess doesn't have she doesn't love being filmed, and I respect that. There's once or twice I'm making her do a video for me because she might become my esthetician soon. She will.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. So, but I respect that about her, and that's okay. And like I said, posting befores and afters, just a little bit of your own voice or doing some boomerangs of your own skin without speaking. There's a lot of injectors sometimes I could think of off the top of my head, but I won't say. It's like, can you speak? I just want to hear your voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. No, I hear you.
For me, I feel like everybody knows everything about me, my life, my talking, but I don't care. I love that. That's me,
Yeah, that's exactly how I am too. I'm like, put everything up there. What I've done.
Put everything on. Know everything,
Exactly.
I feel like if I'm not sharing things, and my husband is very private and doesn't ever want me to film any of our vacations, and I totally understand. And Jess will post reruns, as we would say, while I'm away.
When you were away the one time, somebody messaged and was like, are you okay? You haven't posted?
Yeah, people say,
oh my gosh.
Right. And I really get upset if I can't post.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. My husband's the same way. Amanda, whenever we go away, he really is like, do not say where we are. Like and I'm just, he's like, keep it separate. Keep it separate. And I'm like, but the thing is some people actually kind of like a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And,
they do.
And like when
they do.
And it's crazy. Like when our patients come in, it's all about them. They're number one, right? But 100%. Like all the time they're like, oh my God, what's new? Oh my God, where'd you go? They want to know about your life.
Yeah.
You know?
They do.
Absolutely.
And I love the whole influencer part of it too. We just became LTK members, like to know it or whatever.
Yes.
So we'll do that with the
congrats.
outfits
Yeah.
and stuff. So that's fun. They don't, but like I do try to respect the privacy of family members. My mom doesn't care, so I will post that kind of family stuff.
Right.
When we got married, though, I kept our wedding private, like with him. It was just me. People thought it was a modeling photo shoot for a wedding. And I'm like, no, I really
I
did
am
get
dead.
married. Did you they
There is
thought
a
I married.
husband.
There is a husband. They thought I married my dad. They thought he was the husband. They thought
But
my
I-
Vito
Oh my
was
God.
the husband.
Did you name
I love that
yourself?
though, Amanda.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
It's funny. There's a saying. Eugene jokes about it because he's like they've never seen him, so it's funny. You know what I mean? But I don't care. It's okay.
Yeah.
But when we do go away, like we could film when we're away on conferences. There's just certain things you can't film, but that's fine. And to get back to like you said, the introverted people, there's things you could do, just modified versions.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
You don't
100%.
have to dance. You don't have to sing or dance or
Right. Yep.
show, but or
Right.
film like what you're about to do. Don't film yourself. Film the opposite of the camera, like your skincare. Film your chemical peels about to do, or you're injecting. Like have somebody film you injecting and put music. So there's things they can do.
Absolutely.
They don't have to speak like
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
No,
I think
love it.
too, it's like getting yourself out of your comfort zone. If I think back 7 or 8 years in front of the camera, I looked like an idiot. But now,
Yeah, me too.
you learn it.
my
You
gosh.
learn it.
Yeah. When I first started injecting, I was so tan. Like, wasn't I, Jess? Oh, she'll pull it up. I'll show you. Pull it up. She'll find it.
Oh my gosh.
I was the tannest girl in America.
Oh, that's
that was
hysterical.
that was back when it was like tanning was cool. No
Yep.
contour,
God.
just like
Yep.
as dark as you could be.
With the concealer
People
lips.
are now injecting things in their
Yeah.
bodies to make themselves more tan too.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That injectable that increases the melanin
Listen,
in the
if
skin.
you could tell me it was safe, I would do it,
Ick.
John.
It's an egg. It's an egg.
Egg.
Like,
I
Oh,
swear to God, I would take it every day if it was safe.
the hairs on my spine just went. Whoo.
I'm way too fair. I'm in. Give me the tan shot.
No, I love being pale now. I embrace
Yeah.
being
You've embraced
pale.
it.
Like,
I have not. I'm working on it.
oh my gosh, yeah.
I like my face to be the way it is. I won't tan my face. God forbid we don't want sun damage. But I do like tan legs because they make my skin look better. Let's be real.
Right,
I am
yeah.
38. I am 38. I started doing Pilates, but it only
I
goes
love
so far.
Pilates. Yes.
Yes. I
Such
just
a good
started
workout.
exercise. Yes. Feels
Yep.
great. Totally. And
Yes,
look
they're
good, feel
cracking me
good.
Exactly. Exactly.
100%.
Yes.
Exactly.
Trying to find it. Where do you got?
Yeah, I am
Just
a
don't
spray
zoom
tan
out.
queen.
Oh.
Like that one?
Oh God, that's a good one.
Wait, let's see. Let's see.
Oh,
Wait,
my goodness.
Oh, who is she?
Oh, that's
my
hysterical.
Wait,
You can't even tell. Like
were you
my
on the Real
black hair.
Housewives of New Jersey?
I know.
Like, oh,
Wait,
Totally. Wait, I
that's
told
some
you.
Seaside Heights shit.
Oh my
right
God!
there.
Wait, I told you. Teresa follows me. I think
I
still.
love that. I love that.
I love
Teresa,
it.
if you're watching,
I know,
we love
please.
you.
But yeah, I know, right? But yeah, no, I mean, it was just one of those things back in the day. We all did it. I think.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Tanning.
I was 17, 18 years old going to in high school, going to tanning bed. Literally, it's called the tanning bed. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah.
I loved it. I looked like
Love
a
it.
freaking, I don't even know what
Packages
it looked like.
galore, tanning
Yep.
packages.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh, like
love it.
that lotion. Loved the lotion. Mm.
Yeah. Now we're
Um,
getting patients are getting chemical peel packages, laser
I know.
hair
Yep,
packages.
totally different, right? Totally different.
I
Our
love
packages
it.
are changing. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
For the
Oh my
better.
God.
For the better.
Yes.
Yes, for the better, definitely. But no, for sure.
My
But yeah,
God.
no, I
Well,
love it.
Amanda, thank you so
Yes,
much
this was
for
amazing. Thank
coming
you.
and being our
I
guest
hope
today.
this was fun. Oh my God,
Are
I
you
was so
kidding?
nervous. I hope.
No, this is amazing. And we got
Would
so
never
much
have
good
guessed.
skincare tips, too. I think that was
Yeah.
great.
Defi-
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, definitely.
And Amanda, where can everyone follow you on social media?
Oh, thank you for asking. So it is Instagram. You can do at LMG_cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
And then Facebook, same thing, but it's at LMG Cosmetics. But
Okay.
the
Beautiful.
Instagram's my main one.
Are you on
Absolutely.
TikTok as well?
I'm on TikTok. What are we, Jay?
I think it's the same thing.
LMG_cosmetics.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
All right.
Yeah. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Yes. And thank you so much,
much.
Amanda. This was amazing.
Thank you. We had a
Yes.
great time.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to this week's episode of the Fill Me In podcast. Amanda Grippo, we love you so much.
Yes,
Thank you. Till next time.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fantastic, and I can't wait to see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yes, I love it. San Diego, here we come.
Yes, here we come, Sandy.